Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Top Coin. Today, we're diving deep into a coin you might have in your pocket right now, the 1988 one-dime coin from the United States of America. You're probably thinking, it's just 10 cents, right? Wrong. Some of these dimes are selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on their condition, mint mark, and rare errors. That's right, what looks like pocket change could actually be a hidden treasure. Stick around, because this video will uncover the history, the value, the secrets, and the current market price of the 1988 dime. Let's go treasure hunting. First, let's talk a little about the history of the dime itself. The word dime comes from the Latin word decimus, meaning tenth, because, well, it's a tenth of a dollar. The United States Mint first introduced the dime in 1796, and it's gone through many design changes over the years. The current design, known as the Roosevelt dime, was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the country through the Great Depression and World War II and played a huge role in founding the March of Dimes. Fast forward to 1988, and the dime has become an everyday part of American currency. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1988 dimes are created equal. There are different mint marks, rare error coins, and unique variations that can turn this little silver-colored coin into something collectors are hunting for. In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced dimes in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your dime was minted by looking just above the date on the obverse. That's the front of the coin. Where Roosevelt's face appears, NO mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. D mint mark means Denver, and S mint mark means it was struck in San Francisco, usually as a proof coin. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Some of these coins, especially proof coins and error coins, can be worth far more than face value. We're talking about coins with misaligned dies, double dies, off-center strikes, and other rare minting mistakes that are incredibly valuable to collectors. Let's break down the most valuable errors and varieties to watch out for in your 1988 dimes. Point 1. Double die obverse, DDO. This is when the image on the coin's front appears doubled. You can usually see doubling on Roosevelt's eye, nose, or the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." These can sell for hundreds of dollars, depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Point 2. Off-center strike. If the coin design isn't perfectly centered, say it's struck 10% or even 50% off-center, you've got a rare coin. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more it's worth. Off-center 1988 dimes can go for $50 to over $250.30. No mint mark errors. While Philadelphia coins are normally without a mint mark, sometimes coins from other mints mistakenly lack their identifying letter. In previous years, like 1982 and 1983, these no mint mark errors were big news. If a 1988 dime from Denver or San Francisco was found without a mint mark, it could be a super rare variety. Point 4. Clipped planchet. That's when part of the coin is literally missing due to a mistake during the punching process. A clipped planchet can dramatically raise a coin's value. Collectors love these oddball errors. But even without an error, a 1988 dime can be valuable if it's in exceptional condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect uncirculated coin with no marks, scratches, or wear. These coins are often called MS 74 mint state 70. A 1988 Roosevelt dime graded MS 67 or higher can fetch $100 to $300 or more, depending on the mint. Proof coins from San Francisco in perfect condition, known as PR69 or PR70, can also be quite valuable, especially if they have cameo or deep cameo surfaces. So always check your change. And if you think you've got a gem, consider having it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Let's talk about the money. What are people actually paying for these coins today? As of now, on auction sites and coin marketplaces, a standard 1988 P or 1988 D dime in average circulated condition is worth face value just 10 cents. A 1988 D in MS 67 condition has sold for $175 to $250. A 1988 S proof dime PR70 deep cameo has sold for $300 to $500. Depending on the demander, coins like off-center strikes or double dies have gone for $100 to $600. Depending on how dramatic and rare the error is, these prices can fluctuate based on collector demand, rarity, and overall condition. But the key takeaway is that a tiny dime you almost overlooked could be worth hundreds of times its face value. You might be wondering, how do I find one of these rare 1988 dimes? Well, the best place to start is your own pocket. Check your spare change, check old coin jars, ask friends or family if they have old coins lying around. Visit coin shows, estate sales, flea markets, and garage sales. You'd be surprised how many people don't know what they have. If you find something that looks promising, compare it to verified photos of error coins online. And for high-value coins, always get a second opinion from a professional grader before selling. You can list your coin on eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections, or sell directly to coin dealers. But make sure you know your coin's true value first so you don't get underpaid. So there you have it. The full story behind the 1988 Roosevelt dime. A coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you have the right variety, condition, or error. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where we explore the hidden value of coins you might already own. Have you ever found a valuable dime in your change? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. Today, we're diving deep into a tiny coin with a big story, the 1999 United States one-dime coin. Yes, that little Roosevelt dime in your pocket change might be worth a fortune. We're talking about a 10-cent coin that could bring you hundreds, even thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. So grab your coin jar, sit back, and stay with us, because this video might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's dive into the history, the hidden details, the rare errors, and the current market value of the 1999 Roosevelt dime. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never overlook another dime again. Let's start at the very beginning. The 1999 Roosevelt dime was part of the long-running series that began in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This design was created by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. His initials can be found right at the base of Roosevelt's neck. Every dime since 1946 has carried this familiar portrait, a symbol not only of leadership, but of America's battle against polio, a disease Roosevelt himself fought throughout his life. Now, in 1999, something special happened. The U.S. Mint was preparing for the new millennium. Coin collecting was gaining momentum. And while the Roosevelt dime might have seemed like just another year in the series, it became a sleeper hit among numismatists, especially those who knew how to spot minting errors and rare varieties. So, how many dimes were minted in 1999? Let's break it down. The Philadelphia Mint, marked with a small p on the obverse side of the coin, over 1.2 billion dimes were struck. Yes, that's billion with a B. Meanwhile, at the Denver Mint, marked with a D, just over 1.3 billion were produced. That's a lot of dimes, which is why most of them are only worth their face value, 10 cents. But here's where things get interesting. Among those billions of coins, a tiny fraction were struck with unusual features, rare errors, misprints, double dies, off-center strikes, and even transitional planchet errors. These coins are the gold mine. These are the ones that can fetch serious money from collectors. Let's talk about some of the most valuable and rare 1999 dime varieties you need to look for. 1. The double die obverse. DDO. Some 1999 dimes show a noticeable doubling on Roosevelt's eye, lips, or on the inscriptions such as Liberty or In God We Trust. If you have a coin that shows strong doubling, especially under magnification, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to several hundred, depending on the clarity and condition of the coin. 2. Off-center strikes. If your 1999 dime has part of the design missing or is visibly off-center, sometimes by 5, 10, even 20%, then you could be looking at a coin worth upwards of a few $100s. The more dramatic the off-center strike and the more visible the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin. 3. No mint mark errors. While most dimes are struck with either a P or a D mint mark, there have been rare occasions when coins were struck without any mint mark at all. If you come across a 1999 dime with no visible mint mark and it's not worn down, get it checked out. These can be highly valuable and collectible. 4. Broad struck and clipped planchet errors. Sometimes the dime escapes the collar during minting and gets what's known as a broad strike. a coin that appears wider than normal with a flattened or smooth edge. These are rare and can easily sell for over $100, depending on condition. Similarly, a clipped planchet, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a mistake in the cutting process, can also be a big hit among collectors. So, how much are these 1999 dimes really selling for? Let's look at actual auction results and market trends. A 1999 P dime with a strong double die obverse in uncirculated condition sold for over $250 at auction. A broad-struck 1999 D dime graded MS65 by PCGS sold for around $180. Of the high-grade 1999 Roosevelt dime with no visible minting errors, but graded MS68 with full bands, was sold for more than $400, simply because of its near-perfect condition and rarity in that grade. And let's not forget about proof coins from the 1999 S series, struck in San Francisco. These dimes, while not as rare, can still bring in $5 to $20 depending on their quality, packaging, and condition. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't ignore your dimes, especially the ones from 1999. Check them for oddities. Look at them under a magnifying glass. Study the letters, the eye, the torch, the edge, everything. Because a 10-cent coin might just bring you 10,000 cents or more. And here's a pro tip. If you think you found a rare variety or error coin, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning can reduce the value of a coin by 50% or more. Instead, place it in a protective holder and take it to a trusted coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. So, to wrap it up, the 1999 Roosevelt dime may be small in size, but it's big in opportunity. With over 2 billion minted, the majority are still out there in circulation, in drawers, in jars, even under couch cushions. But among them, a small percentage hold incredible value, and that makes the hunt all the more exciting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes open. Because the next time you get change at a store or find a dime on the sidewalk, it could be worth way more than you think. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and tell us what you'd do if you found a 1999 dime worth hundreds of dollars, where we uncover the hidden value of everyday change and rare American coins that might just be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your piggy bank, or an old drawer in your house. Today, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary coin that millions of people overlook every single day. We're talking about the 2005 United States 1-dime coin. That's right, the 10-cent piece, featuring none other than President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse. But don't let its common appearance fool you. Some of these dimes from 2005 are worth far more than just 10 cents. In fact, under the right conditions, a single one of these coins could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on certain factors. And today, we're going to cover everything you need to know. So buckle up, because this video is packed with history, mystery, and money. Let's get started. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, as a tribute to his legacy and leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. He also played a crucial role in founding the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio, which made the dime a fitting tribute to him. By 2005, the design hadn't changed much. The obverse still featured a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the year 2005, and the mint mark indicating where it was made. The reverse still showed the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, with the inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and 1 dime. Millions of these coins were minted that year, but not all of them were created equal. And that's where things get really interesting. In 2005, the United States Mint produced Roosevelt dimes at 2 primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. These coins can be identified by their mint marks, P for Philadelphia and D for Denver. Here are the mintage numbers. Philadelphia Mint, over 1.2 billion dimes struck. Denver Mint, over 1.5 billion dimes struck. That's nearly 3 billion dimes in total for 2005 alone. So you might be wondering, with so many made, why are some of them valuable? That brings us to the fascinating world of error coins and rare varieties. This is where collectors and resellers get really excited. Because despite the huge number of dimes minted in 2005, a small handful were made with striking mistakes or unique characteristics that dramatically increase their value. Now let's explore some of the most sought-after 2005 Roosevelt dime varieties. 1. Off-center strikes. One of the most valuable errors you can find is the off-center strike, where the image on the coin is not properly aligned. These can range from minor shifts to coins where only half of Roosevelt's face is visible. A 2005 P-dime with a 40% off-center strike can sell for anywhere between $75 to $300, depending on the grade and eye appeal. Point 2. Double die errors, DDO and DDR. Double die errors happen when the coin die strikes the design twice, slightly offset, creating a doubling effect. If you find a 2005 dime with doubling on the words "In God We Trust" or "E Pluribus Unum," you might have a winner. Depending on severity and condition, these can fetch $50 to $500 or more. Point 3. Missing clad layer. Modern U.S. dimes are made with a copper core and a nickel outer layer. Sometimes, the outer clad layer is missing from one side or both, giving the coin a dull copper appearance. A 2005 dime missing a clad layer is rare and collectible. These can sell for $100 to over $600, again, depending on condition and certification. Point 4. Die cracks and cuds. These are caused by damaged dies during the minting process. A 2005 dime with a major die crack or cud, where a piece of the die breaks off and creates a raised blob on the coin, could be worth $30 to several $100s. Point 5. Broad strike errors. If the coin is struck without the collar in place, it can spread out and appear larger and flatter than normal. These broad strike dimes are odd-looking but quite collectible. Expect prices from $50 to $250 or more. So, how can you tell if your 2005 dime is one of the rare ones? First, you'll want to carefully examine your dime under magnification. Look closely at the lettering and date. Check for doubling the edges. Look for missing reading or clad layer. The center. Is the image off-center or misaligned? The color. Does it have a copper tone on one side? Any cracks or blobs that could indicate die damage. If anything looks strange, unusual, or unique, it's worth taking a closer look. You can also compare your coin to online images of known error coins to get a better idea. And if you think you found a rare one, it's a good idea to send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professionally graded coin can drastically increase its resale value. Now let's talk about what collectors are actually paying right now for these coins. As of this year, here are some recent sales and trends. A 2005 D Roosevelt dime with a missing clad layer recently sold for $240 at auction. A double die obverse variety fetched $150. Even in circulated condition, a 2005 P dime struck off center by 60% sold for $380 with a high grade. A mint state 2005 dime graded MS68 by PCGS sold for $120 even, with no errors, just because of its pristine condition. That means even your average 2005 dime, if it's in absolutely flawless condition, could be worth much more than face value. And if it has an error? Even better. The next time you get change at the store or dig through an old coin jar, don't ignore the dimes, especially those from 2005. You might be holding on to a small treasure without even knowing it. If you do find a rare 2005 dime, your next question is probably, where should I sell it? You have several options. eBay, great for reaching collectors directly, but be sure to include clear photos and honest descriptions. Coin shows and conventions. These events bring together serious collectors and dealers. Certified auctions. Sites like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauer specialize in high-value coins. Local coin shops, a good place for quick sales, but they may offer lower prices than auctions. And remember, condition and certification matter. A coin graded MS67 or higher, with a recognized error, will always fetch more than an ungraded or worn coin. So there you have it. The full story behind the 2005 United States one-dime coin. From its humble appearance to its hidden potential, this small piece of American currency could be far more valuable than it seems. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner just getting into the hobby, I hope this video helped you see dimes in a whole new light. Remember, The next time you're sorting through your spare change, keep your eyes open, because history and fortune might be hiding right in your hand. Today, we have something really exciting, a coin you've probably seen 100 times, maybe even thousands. But do you really know what it's worth? I'm talking about the humble 2011 one-dime coin from the United States of America. That's right. A coin you might think is just worth 10 cents could actually be worth a whole lot more. Some rare versions of this coin have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. So sit back, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive into the full story behind this small but mighty coin. First, let's talk about the origins. The dime has a long and proud history in American coinage. It was first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792 and has gone through several design changes over the centuries. The term dime comes from the Latin word decimus, meaning tenth, as it represents 1/10 of a dollar. Now, the version we're focusing on today, the 2011 Roosevelt dime, is part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was honored on the coin for his efforts in founding the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to fighting polio. The obverse, or front side, of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. You'll notice his profile is crisp and detailed, even on such a small coin. On the reverse, you'll find a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace, and an oak branch representing strength and independence. The words United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum surround these symbols. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about the 2011 dime? After all, millions of these were minted, right? Well, yes. But here's the twist. Not all coins are created equal. Even in mass production, rare errors, limited editions, and pristine conditions can turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. In 2011, the U.S. Mint produced Roosevelt dimes at two major locations: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; Denver Mint, marked with a D. Between both mints, over 2 billion dimes were made. But here's the catch. Some coins from 2011 have errors, minting mistakes, or exceptionally high grades that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. Now let's go over the juicy part. What to look for if you think you've got a valuable 2011 dime sitting in your piggy bank or pocket right now. Point 1. Off-center strike. One of the most popular and valuable errors is the off-center strike. If your dime looks like it was stamped partially outside the edge, and it still shows most of the date, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more, depending on the extent of the error. Point 2. Double die error. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment. This can result in doubling of the letters or numbers, especially noticeable in the word liberty or the date. If you find one of these, it could fetch a high price. Some known double die dimes have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction. Point 3. Missing clad layer. The Roosevelt dime is made of a clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between two layers of copper nickel. Sometimes, a coin is struck without one of these outer layers. This error gives the coin a distinct copper appearance and could be worth $100 or more, depending on condition. Point 4. Full bands designation. For collectors, a full bands dime is a high-quality strike that shows clear horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse. This isn't an error, but rather a quality grading detail. A 2011 dime graded MS 68 FB full bands by PCGS or NGC can be worth upwards of $300 to $1,000 due to its rarity and pristine condition. Let's talk numbers. What are 2011 dimes really selling for in today's market? As of 2025, based on recent auction data and collector sales, a typical circulated 2011 dime is still worth just 10 cents. A 2011 D. Roosevelt dime in MS 67 condition can sell for $20 to $50 today. MS 68 full bands version has sold for over $1,000 at auction. Error coins like off-center strikes or missing clad layers have sold between $100 and $600, depending on rarity and eye appeal. Point 1. Particularly rare double die dime with strong doubling on. The reverse fetched over $800 in a private sale. So, yes, that ordinary-looking dime in your change could be worth a small fortune if it's the right one. If you're sitting on a handful of dimes, and want to know if you've got something special, here's what to do. Use a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or full band details. Look at the edges. See if the copper layer is missing. Check the mint mark, D, for Denver. No mark for Philadelphia. Grade your coin. Consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC if it looks uncirculated. Compare sales. Look up similar coins on auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or PCGS to get a ballpark figure. So, is the 2011 dime worth collecting? Absolutely. Even though it was mass-produced, the possibility of high-grade coins and rare errors makes it an exciting addition to any collection. Plus, the Roosevelt dime series is historically rich and continues to be a favorite among numismatists. And who knows? The next time you check your spare change, you might just find a dime that's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's like a tiny piece of treasure hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2011 one dime coin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another coin spotlight. Got an interesting coin in your pocket? Let me know in the comments below. I might just feature it in a future video. And remember, always keep your eyes open, because you never know what piece of history might be hiding in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck treasure hunting.